Face Off Around the Culture, number one HBCU band podcast. I'm your host, Horatio.
It's Vidal.
Hey, man, another great week in band. Man, we have some great matchups this week, man. We have FAMU and Jackson State. That's been going crazy all over online. Texas Southern versus Alcorn. Bama State versus PV. Savannah State versus Albany. Man, we have some good matchups this week. What do you think about the band week as we are kind of wrapping up the band season?
Right, we're getting those matchups that we haven't quite seen throughout the year, and I think it's really clearing up some potential question marks. I think this is the era of the season where if you haven't submitted your place now, might be a little too late.
Dang, it might be late. And some of these matchups, I mean, you can kind of get some buzz. I mean, we've seen some matchups this week where people are, though, like you said, if you haven't marked your place, but people are marking their place currently right now. And it's a good time to get it before the season ends, especially trying to get recruits and everything for the new year. You know what I'm saying? Trying to jump tiers before the end of the season. But yeah, man, we have some great matchups. But every week we have a theme that we talk about that kind of, drives our discussion for the week. And you kind of mentioned it, but this week's theme is play your game. Play your game. We had some matchups this week where, it wasn't necessarily about winning the matchup, being the actual best band, but can you do the best that you can do in order to get the dub? And that's influencing the energy in the room, the band heads, the casuals. We have some matchups this week that really show bands winning, not necessarily winning, but playing their game. What's your thoughts on the topic this week, man?
Shoot, sometimes, when I think about this matchup, I think the opposite. Some of the playing somebody else's game, or
really,
yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, we got some good stuff to talk about then. Where you want to start, man? We don't really have that much band news this week.
Okay,
we got just straight.
You know what? You watched some battles that I didn't this week. I'm interested to hear about those because I didn't check out the Savannah one, and then I watched a little bit of the PV.
In Bama State?
Alabama State, because I was like, Bama State, like, they've got the travel band, the PV. I listened to the first round of that. So let me know what happened there.
Let's start with Bama State and PV. First of all, Bama State didn't bring they didn't bring the full band. All right, we saw that. We kind of saw that. I saw it on social media. You know what I'm saying? People saying that. But so you think, right, you don't bring the full band, it's an automatic dub, at least. I mean, they have more people than, that wasn't the case, man. PV really, to me, fell off this year in the middle of the year. They not only fell off, I think, in like, how they present themselves, but like size as well. Like, I think they had doubles, the tubas in the beginning of the season, and they were like visibly smaller. But I mean, you would think that'll just be an easy dub. I mean, I got the playlist of the songs. I mean, Bama State did really well, man. Just to, you got, for a smaller band, they're just a beefed up pep band. They play I Wish I Didn't Miss You, which, the Andy Stone thing, we really like.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Right. PV played Coming to You, which was Bama State played Blood Money. These are all crank up songs. PV played Don't Worry Baby by Tyler the Creator. Ashley played Girl You Know It's True. PV played 777 by Bruno Mars. I thought that fell apart completely. And yeah, man, Bama State also ended it with that song, I think Secret. I forgot what it's called, but NBA Youngboy song. Either way, I thought Bama State did a really good job. To me, PV really kind of fell off in this battle. I really kind of wanted more from them. We talked about that last week. Like, kind of going with the theme too. Like, if you have a showing, maximize on it. And I feel like PV really didn't do that. So that's what I really like to say. Like the grand, total of that battle was just that Bama State had a smaller band, and yet they still kind of cranked on. Like, they still did good just based on they planning. That just shows you how good they are as a program, kind of.
Yeah.
How locked in they are.
Because Bama State's been really good this season all throughout. I know we've talked about some of the ebbs and flows that they have been showing towards the end of the season, but it doesn't take away from the good all-around program that they have. I think this was an opportunity for PV to come out and do something different. We haven't seen a really good PV since potentially Texas Southern at the very beginning of the season, and it's not like they didn't have some good matchups when they had versus Southern. That's one stickout matchup that they had the opportunity to go out and show, and we did discuss and talked about how that ended up for PV. But I think when PV is good, it really makes the SWAC very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So to see, and another thing, we don't really see Bama State traveling to PV very very often. That's not
Right.
something we see like every other year. So I would have hoped for a little bit more, but I'm still checking it out.
Yeah. So going with Savannah State in Albany. Of course, I think we all thought Albany. We picked Albany last week to win.
Mm-hmm.
They did a great job. I think the standout in this whole battle was I thought Savannah State wasn't as bad as I thought they were. I thought that they're actually getting better throughout the season. They just have to really they still have small band mindset in their mind. Like you could tell with them a lot. But to me, if they had a better trumpets, they'll be a better band. So I'm excited to see what they do in the coming years, Savannah State. I mean, even in this grand year of all these bands doing really well, they're actually they have it grown and evolved. And I thought, of course, Albany did a great job. They really won the battle. But Savannah State did a good job. Did a good job playing their game as well, which kind of goes back to our theme. So shout out to them. I mean, I always from the band that I played a couple years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, till now, they're a better band. So shout out to Savannah State.
We might need to rank the SEAC when the end of the year is over.
Yeah. I mean, we've been saying bro, they've been playing, bro. They've been really delivering, and they've been, Savannah State has been doing good as well. All right, let's jump to let's do FAMU and Jackson.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. So on social media, this is why you have to watch the battle, right? Because on social media, it's FAMU is going crazy, as far as but they're the reason why I have the theme of play your game, and the reason is because I saw all this propaganda online before I even watched the battle. So that means that they won the viral, they did good virally, and we said that it's going to be hard to beat a band like Jackson going crank for crank. So to me, FAMU did a great job in playing their game in this battle, in my opinion. We've talked about them evolving, unlike a Bethune-Cookman. They're evolving their sound to grow, to hold their tradition and keep and bring in these new values of HBCU Marching Band that we've seen. And I feel like they're doing a good job. Now I don't think they won this battle, of course, as a band. I mean, we're gonna go through the songs or whatever. They didn't do good with song selection. They did corny stuff in it, but sometimes you have to look at the overall. And to me, FAMU came out of this battle not looking bad at all. Now to the band head, they lost this battle. We're gonna go through it, and you're gonna see why. But if you're just a casual or whatever, you're yeah, FAMU. To me, that performance could brought in some people as well,
right?
And that's why I made the theme of this episode play your game, because sometimes you don't necessarily have to crank on this other band to play their game in order for you to win or get a look of a win and get more recruits. And sometimes you just have to do what you do, and the little flash of things people will take and hype up, and that'll be the performance for them.
Wow. I thought FAMU was doing some of the opposite. This is my first time really hearing FAMU trumpet hangovers. Playing the song back to back, trying to match intensity, bringing it back over on the tour break for FAMU. This is we're not really seeing these things typically for FAMU when we think about a FAMU. Even the last song they play that we're going to discuss, but the sort of style and elements.
Yeah.
Even some of the arranging. Was a little bit different. I think they're really leaning into okay, if we're gonna be in the SWAC, we're gonna be in the SWAC now.
But I think they've been doing that for the past since they came back. I think they've been kind of tiptoeing in that. I just think just in the environment, it was more of a I just hate the whole we're in the SWAC now. It's to me, FAMU has been doing that for a while. Most bands now, in order to be considered, you have to play I mean,
To me, this was the first time it landed.
Now that's true. This is the first time that this style has landed for them, and people are talking about it. But let's go.
Okay.
So Jackson started fifth with Extra L, the song by Doechii, which to me, and this is what we talk about, like running a battle. They've been playing that song since the spring, before the season. So I'm like, beatable. If I'm FAMU, I'm like, we should be able to whatever. FAMU plays the same song back. Already, it's like, why are you handing over your power to Jackson State when you didn't have to play the same song back? We always talk about that. It just, to me, it gives up. Everybody was like, even in the video, I was like, people was like, come on, FAMU, as before they started playing, you just play the same song back that they played. To me, people expected more. You just gave Jackson State the point. So that's just how easily you can go down from bad play calling. FAMU went down the first round. Jackson State came back. One of my favorite songs, an intense crank song. I say it took the air out of the place. FAMU plays Nights by Night again. Song caller, like, you know, we've heard it a million times. Jackson plays Make It Last Forever, and this is where you have to always like give it up to bands that are at the top that still can recognize, okay, we're playing this band, and we're gonna still respect you by playing the song that we kind of know is your kind of like a standard that you're known for. Make It Last Forever by Keith Sweat. They did a great job with that. Like, great job. I seen clips on TikTok of people in FAMU, you know, really gearing out, like jamming out to that song from Jackson playing it. Great job. That's, to me, it's like top tier band knowledge. We know this is, you know, but we're gonna play it better. Great. FAMU plays Burning Blue back, which to me is like, don't play a ballad. Play now. You play that song that you played at the end that was so cranking. Now you play this because it's like you playing our song. Now we're gonna play like something we're gonna crank on you. They just went right with it and played another ballad. It's like, FAMU, like, come on now, like, but to the non-bedhead, they're in it, they're singing or whatever, but we know, like, y'all are losing this, all right? Between the Nights by Night, which was playing the song back, and now you're playing a ballad again when you could have just played that crank song that you can play at the end. Jackson plays an up tempo, which is great, fast song, just a punchy type, quick song to kind of ease the mood. FAMU plays Fine China. We play Fine China in high school, bro. Like, old stuff. This stuff. Come on, man. Why we no? So at this point, Jackson's like, well, I mean, what are we really doing here? We're about to leave. They play Clouds, another song that they played in the spring. To me, this is where I feel like Jackson, if we're like, keep putting your foot on the neck, in my opinion. Don't play a song like this. Play something else. But they played this. I thought it was good. The next song from FAMU is the song that people have been talking about. Just like it's like a crank song, but just a different type of song for them. It was good. The only thing I put FAMU tubas aren't that good. They have over 35 tubas. I need a lot more from them.
35?
Over 35. I counted 18 on each side. So, yeah. So
that's crazy.
We need more from them. And I put the Hangovers weren't good as well from FAM. You could tell like they're just hyped up. They're going against Jackson. You kind of want it. It's kind of out of character, like for the playing style. But right. I think the idea, and I think it all worked. Like just from what I've been seeing, like I think it wasn't like a crew, like oh my god, it was so bad. It's people now like, oh wow, like FAMU has some buzz behind his performance, and of course Jackson won, but I feel like FAMU did a good job doing what they do.
Yeah, man, I think this is a good, really good battle. I enjoyed this battle, and I think my overall theme for me was we're gonna remember you, but that don't mean you won. There's a difference, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm coming into it like, okay, Jackson State plays extra L. FAMU play it back, but I feel like this has a little sizzle on it. You know what I'm saying? A little sizzle on it for FAMU, especially with the hangover part. I'm like, oh, that's different. That's right. A little different. And I could tell like the people at FAMU, the fans, they're realizing like, oh, this is a little different. And by the way, Jackson State had moved out of the corner and went to the center face to face with FAMU. When people play at FAMU, they usually like in the corner like they be at Southern. So, you know, I think shout out to Jackson for even like, no, we're not going to be in the corner. We're going to move to the center like it did versus Southern some years back, just to bring up that hype and intensity. And I think that even that element brought that extra oomph out of FAMU because we got to think about the band layout now. It's not like how it was years back, and I think all-star bands have a lot to do with that. You coming in with you have your high school experience, which is steadily getting influenced by the crank up style, but then the summer everybody cranking up. So
Right.
if you've been participating in the summer, you have that like style, you akin to that, and you're used to that. And I'm sure a lot of those kids will, if they are like GAM or Memphis Mass Band or wherever they from,
Mm-hmm.
still end up at FAMU, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking like, okay, then for me, there was a big scene where the lights shut off right before Jackson State played Sangria, and
Mm-hmm.
it was so powerful, dog. I was like crazy, and I was like, could you imagine just like
Angry. Yeah.
feeling the energy if you like at FAMU, then the lights shut off, and then Jackson State open up like that?
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, oh goodness. So to me, Jackson State was up with that, and I had them winning the first round as well. Now I like this night by night. This FAMU played a little bit more intense, and I was like, this is the kind of shift that we wanted, that we have been talked about. Like, still be yourself, but add some different elements. Had like a lot more bite to it, a
Mm-hmm.
lot more presence. And then Jackson State with the Make It Last Forever. Well, with the second verse, trumpets go crazy. There was a tuba breakdown in between there. I'm like, okay, that the second half of the song really sealed it for me. I had Jackson State winning that one. And we talked about the closeout with the song they did for the spring. Um, the last song that FAMU played, it was, I want to really commend them on it because I feel like this was like that moment FAMU had of, okay, we've been trying to work out this cranking thing at FAMU for a
Mm-hmm.
little while now. That was the one that sealed the deal, and it was a student arranger who did that.
Yeah.
So I like that. I'm like, man, I'm looking at it, I'm viewing it, I see the comments like, FAMU won. I'm like, ho. Ho. And I don't even like the Glaze Jackson, but like
Mm-hmm.
you gotta win. You got like to actually win.
Yeah. 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 But
So
sometimes, in the times now, sometimes the moments, the viral moments that people see on social media is all that you're wrong with. But like you said, you gotta
hmm
watch you gotta watch the full battle or listen to the show, and we'll
hmm
break it down for you because um sometimes you can't trust it. But yeah, their song choice wasn't the best at times. Nights by Night to me wasn't good. Playing the Ballad wasn't good. Fine China. It's like
yeah, Fine China was like,
yeah, it's
that
like
was
come
the
on, man.
one
You're going
they
against
dropped
Jackson
the
State.
ball.
Yeah, it's like what are you doing? I'm like, come on, man. So shout out to FAMU though. To me, like you get a good moral victory. Jackson State takes the dub though. Great showing for Jackson. It was like you said, it was a high school band that you get a lot of them kids. I've seen a lot of videos with the students and stuff like that. So shout out to them. Let's move on to uh let's end on this one. Uh Not on this one, but let's end on let's move on to what was the battle with Virginia Union and T
Oh
and South
yeah.
Carolina State.
So that was the Richmond County battle of the bands.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Richmond County battle of the bands. Yeah.
Okay.
What
So
you think about this battle, man? What you think about this?
I felt like everything did exactly what I was expecting it to do. Meaning, I felt like Auntie could come in there and play Big Brother and really bully a lot of these bands, but they didn't do that at all. They actually faded into the abyss, and where there was no reason for even Auntie to even be there. Auntie has the same problem that Norfolk has, which is they just continue to play the same songs that they played at the beginning of the season, or old songs that they played in the past 5 to 6 years that aren't even good songs like that. They're just songs that the band played at that year, good at
Mm-hmm.
that time, and they just like play it again. Like they played "Drowning" in this event. Like
Wow.
I played "Drowning" when it was first, when I was there. It's like no point for this to even happen. And, it was just to me like it felt like Auntie disrespected themselves by even being there. So the battle primarily was South Carolina State and Virginia Union, in my opinion, because these two bands really acted like they actually had something to prove and actually were there for a reason. Um,
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina State did great. South Carolina State has good tubas. Um, I like them. I feel like we've been talking about Union this whole season, so we know that Union was going to do well, and that they, especially in an event like this for all these high schools, they were really going to get the crowd going. They did a good job of that. But South Carolina State did really good too. They looked good in the stands. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was important. But yeah, like you said, we've been waiting for South Carolina State to get to play somebody because they've been the fifths, like they haven't been having the fifths with A&T and the fifths with Norfolk State.
Mm-hmm.
They've been going in game, but they haven't really had a lot of battles this year. So I thought it was just good between South Carolina State and Virginia Union. Union, of course, I feel like was the more crank up, and especially in this environment, they're going to get the more shine. But I feel like South Carolina State was balanced, and A&T was just there was no point for them to be there.
Yeah, I feel similar, man. This brought a new feeling for me for South Carolina State. I enjoyed the balance. I enjoyed their style. I just was like, man, just give me a little something to make you different. I think just all around this week, that's kind of what I was looking for. Like, give me something to make you just a little bit different, just to edge you over just a little bit. I enjoyed South Carolina State. They had good tone quality. The balance was pretty well. I think the downfall for them was like when they did the head-to-head with Union at the end was their overall endurance. They started to wane. They started to fade. When they started off, sounded very well. As far as sound selection goes, I think Union had the better overall sound selections, and I think that what we've seen from both Union and South Carolina State is the songs that they played during this event we've heard them play before. So I think this put a little challenge on South Carolina State to come up with a little bit more diversity in their book, something a little bit more complex. Because when I hear them, it's not like a question of can they play or not. No, those group of musicians they can play, but in that type of setting is going to require a little bit more to bring you over the top, so you're over the edge. Um, I think both of these groups had like really good tubas. I've been saying all this year is just a tuba year all across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that for Union, their sound is on par with many of the established programs that's been around. Even though I felt like the tone quality could have been a little bit better at this particular showing,
I
I just
agree.
felt like, yeah, I
Yeah.
just felt like they were on par. Like what I heard from Union that day, I'm like, well, a couple weeks ago, I could imagine like Alcorn sounding like this. So I can't want nitpick so much,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's another level that they can ascend to at the same time. I think that they also had some fatigue challenges as well. Like towards the end, they started getting the kind of little tired lips. You know that
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Yeah, I
So
agree, man. I feel like Union in this battle too. The trumpets are starting to get a little um hangover happy, you know. And you know
hmm
how that goes.
we
Even
heard
somebody
some
says
misses.
talk about college bands playing wrong notes. I mean, everybody's gonna play wrong notes. It's gonna happen in the band.
hmm
It just you're trying not to emphasize it. So when you have bands, when you have times, that you want to overly hang over, that's great. But we don't want to like towards we hear just you. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
That's
right, right,
always
right,
the
right,
worst.
right, right.
So I feel like they have situations like that. But yeah, man. Like overall, out of this whole battle, Union won
hmm
again. To me, it's like
Yeah, I think yeah.
they're
I
going
had
around getting eyes on their program. You know. Shannon says, I love how South Carolina State and Virginia Union played as soon as the high school bands finished. The kids love when you take initiative and crank unannounced. They're low-key more excited to see the college perform overperforming. Oh, yeah, of course. I mean,
mm,
that's just a big part of just, these battles, the exhibition bands, is going to these high school competitions and putting on a great show because you know that, a lot of bands went to their programs because they saw their bands do a high school exhibition.
right, right, right.
So shout out to them for going to the Richmond County Battle of the Bands.
hmm
Let's move on to our last battle before we get into predictions for next week. This is my favorite battle of the season. I mean, not the season of the week. Um, Texas Southern versus Alcorn, and we talked about this last week in our predictions. You chose
hmm
Texas Southern. I chose
Yes.
Alcorn because I said them against Mississippi Valley was so good. I don't think Texas Southern would be able to handle that. And I said
Mm,
I felt like they were going to be doing too much. or in this case, they didn't really do enough. They didn't do enough for Alcorn at all. I really feel like they were kind of sleeping on them.
Yeah.
But I just knew that they was going to just do well in this battle. So I
Yeah, he
texted,
did. He texted me.
yeah, I texted. I'm like, I knew that they were going to do well because, and I just heard about it. Like I just saw people. I'm like, oh yeah, they came in and did well. So let's start. Alcorn started with a fast-paced song. So did Texas Southern. And to me, the first round was really hard to decide. I felt Alcorn had a lot of clarity and intensity, but I mean, after the two break, Texas Southern, man, they turned up on their first song. So I gave it to Alcorn, but I put the first round as kind of a tie in this.
Mm.
You know, Alcorn just came back with absolute crank song after Texas Southern. I mean, this is probably. I'm like, man, Alcorn's UFOs are just like
They're crazy,
the
dog.
intensity of Alcorn in this battle was so on point. I'm like, man, like when you have like, and I try to write it down, like when the band is really like hitting on the same, like it just felt like they were really in sync. And it felt like there wasn't a band. They felt like that night there's not a band that's going to stop us in this stadium, and they were just you could feel it, and I feel like they really carried the first two rounds. I put Texas Southern lost the second round. It was a young boy song. It just wasn't as intense as Alcorn. You have anything? We can continue.
Man, I said my first point. That question that I had was, what are Texas Southern's strengths this season? I really, they have some good all around band, solid band organization program, but they don't have anything that separates them or puts them apart. Previous seasons, we've seen the arranging and on some very unique things, but we didn't really see much of that in this performance. I think they played their game, so to speak, with some of their song selections and the intensity so far. They played the up tempo in the first round. Alcorn second round was called Black and Gold by Sam Sparrow. That was crazy, real intense. And my theme for Alcorn was just pressure.
Yeah.
Song after song, it felt like you really like on the clock.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, and they didn't back down. Like they didn't play a ballad in this entire battle at all. It was no mood changer. It was it was just straight up pressure. I was gonna say it was straight up pressure, and that's something I have like literally in here. It's like they wanna crack on you. Like they want you to, like, they're daring you to do something, and Texas Southern couldn't respond.
Yeah, they couldn't shake it. It was nothing they do could change the tides of the battle.
And they tried to, and we're gonna get to okay. So next round, Alcorn came back cranking at him again. I put UFOs eating trombones. This might be their best performance. I have this might be their best performance. Energy is high as hell. Like just another crank song. Texas Southern tries to change the mood with the Selena song, right?
I like that one.
And it was good. I was about to say, it got the crowd singing. Great groove. You might consider they won that round. I put, because the crowd is singing and it's getting everybody involved, and not everybody wants to get cranked on all the time. The audience. I said Texas Southern wants to take control of this battle, but Alcorn is not letting up. Another crank song. Trombones are great. So after they get cranked on twice, and you can say they won that round, the Selena round. Let's just say that, right? So now they got one out of these. They come back with PYT, which is like,
man, I was like, no.
What are we doing? What are we doing? PYT, come on, man. That's some march down. That's some parade song. We're going down the street. Come on, it's the fifth quarter against Alcorn. They're killing. So after that, I go, well, Alcorn is going to take control. It's going to now finesse something. I said, I want a battle for Alcorn, but we get another crank song. In the middle, they play Nobody Does It Better. I remember that part.
Yeah.
I said, they're going crazy, right? They just want to just destroy them. I said, Texas Southern responded with After Hours by Kalani. That was the end of the battle for the most part.
Yeah.
So to me, if we're just choosing, I mean, the energy was high. They wanted it more. I would have did better song selection, which to me that gave up one round with the Selena song. But losing one round, winning all the rest of them against Texas Southern at their house,
That was cleared up, dog. That's cleared
it's a
up.
dub. It's a dub.
That's cleared up.
Yeah.
Man, I had like only thing that Come LaFleur, that was real nice. I like the Salida joint. It was grooving, played very well. And then when then Alcorn came back with Wheat Time. We talked about Wheat Time last week, how imposing and enlarged that is. And then PYT, it's like what the you know how the Buffalo Wild Wings commercial you could call up the admin of the school like we need Michael Jackson for y'all to play this during this game.
Right.
Do y'all to throw some old schools in there?
Yeah.
That was like wow. I couldn't really conceptualize that. And then After Hours Kalani was nice, but I feel like at that time the damage was done. And then TSU played We Time at after Alcorn had left. If it's me, right, I'm not sure they did their research or study. If I know Alcorn has We Time, I'm shooting it first.
Yeah.
Just so they can respond and I can take the ties of the battle. Right. Win or lose, if I feel like theirs is a little bit better, it gives me an opportunity to take the battle back because TSU couldn't really get control of this battle. Yeah. Another thing, if you battle Alcorn, you better meet them in the 0. Take some of them songs first because you will get pounded to death in the 5th. See them in the 0, lighten that book up because it's going to get heavy.
True, man. Shout out to Alcorn, man. Shannon said Alcorn had Henny and Black and Miles on the bus. Yes, the energy was crazy. I'm for real. I mean, great showing from them. Great couple weeks, man. That might be. I mean, we can get to band of the week, who we thought was the band of the week, but that might be my band of the week this week, man. It might be Alcorn because they had a great week last week. The battle with Mississippi Valley. I mean, this week was great. I mean, this was just straight up aggression. Like they want to crank up on somebody, and they did it. Yeah, man. Who do you got for band of the week before we move on to next week predictions?
I go Alcorn.
Yeah, man. I guess throw Jackson State in there as a honorable mention, Union as well. But yeah, Bama State too, the little pet band.
I give it to Alcorn because I just felt like, as far as how they handled their opponent, they made the difference so clear, man. Nobody's out here championing Texas Southern for a good week.
Right.
They doing that with FAMU.
Yeah.
Rightfully so or not.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But Texas didn't even get a piece of that. Like it was all people like, wow, like y'all really took a dub. So it's like shout out to them to Alcorn for making it, be known. Like leaving the stadium with a dub. Yeah, man. I mean, great matchups, man. Great. We love when it's a good one, but we do love when it's one-sided as well. Not one-sided, but when we can tell.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Texas Southern. I like the uniforms. I think the gray looks cool, but I don't even remember seeing Texas Southern in full uniform at any point during the season.
Bro, they love a good bro. You're right. Like they love the windsuits, bro. Okay, let's move into next week's predictions. All right, we have Prairie versus Alabama A&M.
A&M.
I'm gonna go PV. I'm gonna go PV. Getting a dub. They are at A&M. I'm going PV. That should be good. Texas Southern versus Alabama State. Now, Texas Southern, here we go. You have to get your face back. You have to.
Is that at Bama State?
It's at Bama State. This is the perfect time to do it, Texas Southern. I'm telling you. I don't know how you're gonna beat Bama State because they just have a great book right now. Like, and they're really good with the play calling. So you're gonna have to beat them 2 ways. You know what I'm saying? But this is a great way to go back in there, get a good dub over Bama State. Texas Southern really needs some oomph right now. So I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Bama State, but I really want Texas Southern to do well. Who you got?
Yeah, that's a tough one because we know Texas Southern will show up at Bama State, and
Right.
and then my mind is like, were they taking Alcorn lightly to prep for Bama State? I hope not.
I hope not.
But
I hope not. Who wants to tell? Look, man, they can't take no one seriously. Who got
right,
time for that?
I got Bama State, man.
But you never know what an L can do for your for the
Right,
program,
right.
especially like a certified L too. All right, Southern versus Alcorn.
Oh,
Alcorn.
ah.
Do you want to jump tiers now? Do you want to really be known like for real? This now, if you go in, now it's at Alcorn now. So
Oh, oh.
I don't know. I don't know. Southern might come in there wreck, but this is gonna be good though, man. This is gonna be
Yeah,
a really
man.
good one. We gotta make sure y'all go watch that before y'all come watch the show next week, because Southern versus Alcorn is gonna be something good to talk about.
Man.
I got Southern. You know what?
Too dark.
You know what? Nah, I got Alcorn State, man. I think 3 weeks, this is the perfect, trio. They just went against Mississippi Valley, bro. I'm going Alcorn. We just getting banned of the week.
I'm gonna go Southern because Southern's not gonna allow them to do what Alcorn to do what Texas Southern is, because they're gonna make them uncomfortable in the zero, make them feel that pressure, and then Southern, I don't feel like they're gonna even try to play the same type of game.
I was just thinking, Alcorn is gonna try to now. Okay, you can't go in there trying to bully them like you did Texas Southern. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Southern's gonna try to play the finesse game on you, and they might take 2 or 3 rounds away from you with that, because you're trying to chase them. You know what I'm saying? So don't go for the crank bag. I don't know what. This might be difficult for Alcorn. This is gonna be difficult because they're gonna try to crank on them, and I don't think Southern's even gonna pay attention to that. I think they're gonna play something real complex or real something that's really gonna, I love band, man. This is great. This is great. FAMU versus UAPB.
Fam.
I'm going UAPB, man. I think FAMU's getting too excited. I feel like UAPB can, for real. I feel like, I don't think they're going because it's at UAPB, but if they do, we're just talking anyway. Bethune-Cookman versus Grambling.
Oh,
Grambling. That's what. Jackson State versus Mississippi Valley.
Jackson State.
I'm going Jackson State, but Valley. This is a good opportunity as well. This would be really good. Catching Jackson State on the blind side after coming from Bragg, getting a dub, but a sneaky dub.
Yeah, Jackson State this year has just been hard to beat.
Yeah. I mean,
they've been killing people, but it's like they hard to beat, man.
Do you think that Jackson has let other bands play with them a little? Because they're winning, but I feel like Jackson, that FAMU one they could have really closed them out, but they really didn't.
It's like Jackson hasn't been like we pounding you in your face. It's more like we pulling the rug from underneath you.
Right.
That's how I feel like.
Yeah. Oh, right. You're like, oh my God, right? You just fall. No, for real. That's a perfect analogy. Okay. Delaware State and Morgan State.
Morgan.
I'm gonna go Delaware State. Norfolk State versus North Carolina Central. Oh wow. Central could win this battle. Central could win this battle if they were to play calling, because Norfolk plays the same songs, so you could really switch it up with Norfolk, because they're gonna keep playing that Lil Uzi song, and neck and whatever. Howard versus South Carolina State.
South Carolina State.
Same. Winston versus Fayetteville State.
Fayetteville State.
I'm going Winston, man. I think Winston's a better man than Fayetteville State.
Really?
Yeah. I think I'm going Winston. Let's see. Tuskegee and Miles.
Oh, Miles. I thought, did we already see this? No.
I don't know. I think we may have seen this. Savannah State and Benedict. I'm going Benedict.
I'll go Benedict.
All right, and the last band is Virginia State and Virginia Union.
Ooh, Union, man.
Gold Bowl, I think is what it's called.
I'll go Union, man.
Yeah, I'm going Union.
We saw Virginia State versus Bowie, and I felt like they played well, but I don't think they ready for the intensity that Union has.
I agree. That should be a good one, though. That's going to be a really interesting battle. All right, guys. We appreciate you guys for another week, man. You know, we had a great theme this week, which was play your game, which was kind of influenced by the FAMU and Jackson State game, because I felt like FAMU, they kind of played their own game. They're evolving. They're kind of doing their own thing and, in their own way.
Right.
And that's kind of how you have to win, especially if you can't OD crank on the band like that. You have to play your own game, and the fans and whatever, you have to depend on your connection with the fans and the energy to win, because people are seeing what your band can do just being in your own space. So we see.
I get that to Alcorn as well.
Yeah, explain that. How have you seen them do that?
Because I feel like Alcorn's thing has been up tempo, forceful, and in your face presence. We're giving you the energy and bringing it to you. And they forced that onto Texas Southern, when I think Texas Southern pre Brian Simmons Texas Southern, they had that same type of energy and feel to them, just straight on you, we on you.
Yeah. And it won, right? So perfect example between FAMU and Alcorn. Alcorn being our band of the week. I mean, this is just the best HBCU band podcast, best show. I mean, we're giving out great advice. We're, measuring different bands well. I think Talladega was our band of the week last week. Now we have Alcorn. I mean, we just have, great insight. Another week. So we appreciate you guys. You can always follow the brand at It's the FaceOff. Follow the show at FaceOff ATC on all platforms, Instagram as well. You can follow me on social media at Horatio Radio.
You can follow me on V for Vidal on Instagram, and then make sure you check out our YouTube page. Get that going.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys for another week, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah, next week, man.
FaceOff is a media and entertainment network creating dynamic spaces for band culture and music competition.
And at heart, we are community creators that are focused on building innovative experiences to express our culture authentically.
Founded by Javon Austin and Rich Trotman, FaceOff launched with On the Kit.
So On the Kit is a three-way versatile drum battle league where drummers compete head-to-head for 4 quarters for the title of the ultimate all-around drummer.
The champion himself.
That feeling right there is just what drives me.
Amazing. I mean, your strength, your agility, the power that you play with is crazy, insane.
At face value, we're a multimedia and entertainment company where we want to be the go-to hub for all things of our band culture. So from show-style marching band to stage band to the drums and more. So when it comes to providing information, broadcasting, and engagement, we want to be that space.